All right, recording. Yep. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You?
I could be doing a little better. I admit that. I could be doing a little better. I broke one of my toys, and we're gonna try to, I guess, exchange it as if I didn't break it. But other than that, it's my birthday, so
Happy birthday, man.
thank you. Happy Naked Day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 44 today. 44. And it's been good. Let's see. What the day started off with Benjamin Dixon asking everybody, like, what should I talk about? And I was like, you can talk about how people are thinking Mitt Romney is good because he's standing against Trump when Mitt Romney is still a dick anyway. And he was like, cover that on Thursday. And I'm like, shit, my bad. But but you know what? He acknowledged me though, and he followed me back on Twitter. He's followed a lot of people back, but he followed me. He saw me. He followed me, and that was cool. Let's see, TYT investigates Jonathan Larson. He was covering Buttigieg, and somebody was asking him why he's so obsessed with him and things like that. And he's like, I'm not obsessed. It's just that he won't return. His staff won't return the calls. I was like, Jonathan Larson wants to do an interview and ask him questions for about 30 minutes, but they won't get back to him because, it's TYT, and they know that he's going to ask him the questions that Pete keeps dodging. So I was in chat, and I was like, I said it straight to him. I said, can you give me a birthday shout out? I'm 44 years old today. And I said, I upvote every single video, which I do. I upvote every single video when it's an even number. And
why an even number?
It's just a small game. It's a small game I play. Right. It's watching the live stream, and I'm watching the likes go up, and I'm like, I want to hit like when it's an even number. Like today I was 150. And I was in there watching 147, 148, 149. It was 149 for probably 5 minutes. And I was like, wait a minute, click. I was 150. Then it went to 151, 152. I was like, haha, got it. So it's this small game that I play. And he gave me a shout out on the live stream right there. And I was marking out. I was as giddy as a teenage schoolgirl, man. I was having fun today. I was having fun. Let's see. And let's see, got toys. I got white mala beads. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. So I'm adding to the collection of mala beads. Sidra got me these. She got me some Transformers. I can't show them on this or anything. She got me a plush toy, which I think is just absolutely adorable. It's a black dragon with rainbow scales. I can't show that because it'd be like, that's children's stuff. You're gonna have to pay $42,000. I can't do that.
Oh man, that type of stuff is so. It's not only annoying; it's just so dumb.
It's exceedingly stupid. And let's see what else. Let's see. Did my wrestling show, and that show is long as a big tournament, an hour and 41 minutes plus. So that was long. Did commentary. Let's see. What else? Let's see. Had some food that Sidra cooked last night. It was a gravy and rice and gravy. Meat patties that was like cooked in gravy, which is like amazingly good. Let's see. And shoot, honestly, just to be honest with you, something else that's making this day great. I'm talking to you.
No.
And I'm like, man,
oh, man,
I ain't talked to Conquering Thought in a long time, and shit, my voice is too high. Hold on, turn this down. Yeah, and I'm like, man, this is making my day right now. I'm like, man, now I'm talking to Conquering Thought, so now I'm happier. Because I was feeling down. I was sad. I was like, man, I done broke my damn Transformer. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. I thought I fixed them back better than ever, but nope, that part needs to move, and I glued it because that was the only way it was going to get fixed, and I was feeling all down in the dumps, and then you're like, you want to talk? And I was like, yay! So I got happy. See? Conquering Thought. He makes people happy. Or did I just run conquering thought away? I think I ran him off. I think I ran him off. He's not talking. Not necessarily we can talk about though. Once you might want to disconnect and then come right back, because I hear little tappings here and there. There you go. He just left chat. Give a little bit of time, then he should come back. You know what?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep. I am going to.
All right.
I'm gonna take a picture of this cute little plushy dragon and put it on Twitter. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
He's adorable, adorable little thing. I got something. Is there something that was on your mind? Because if not, I got something we could talk about.
I mean, there's all the recent stuff that's been happening, so I'm sure we could talk about that a lot. But we'll go with what you want to talk about first.
This is on the Discord channel.
Alrighty.
This is, I don't know if you saw it, Mr. Pony posted this, called The Perfect President by Justin Fisher. And
yeah, I read that.
What did you think about it? Because I had subtle thoughts. I'm kind of a little all over the place. What did you think about it?
I kind of hated it because it's quintessential politician, where you say one thing and then you say another thing that completely negates the first thing you said.
I saw it as, initially I was like, okay, when I first read it, I was like, this sounds like somebody's schizophrenic and just don't know what they want to do. You know?
I mean, I do get where it's coming from, because like the entire thing seems to be something along the lines of, these are all qualities that people like, and you just have to you frame that perfect politician the way you want to. You know what I mean?
Yep. And you know,
and that's why I hated it.
I'm gonna go ahead and read it so anyone listening, they can make their judgment up about it, because it's contradiction. That's all it is contradiction. And no one can be this way unless they're two-faced.
Yeah.
Okay, The Perfect President by Justin Fisher. He had a stance of someone of great arrogance, yet has the gentle touch of a compassionate person. He aims to help the weak, but also gives them bootstraps to help them up. The strong fear him when he carries the baton, yet supports him when he carries a stick. He is a man of leadership, both in the fields of combat and the room of boards. He wears a white collar shirt and a blue collar jacket, all greasy yet clean looking. He sees equality in all, yet believes merit is the key to success. You may wonder what he looks like, but that's for your mind to decide, because after all, why judge people by looks and not character? And
I mean, the one that just hurt me the most was the strong fears him when he carries a baton, but supports him when he carries a stick.
The one that got me was the bootstraps one. That one pissed me off the most. That one actually pissed me off, because I'm like, man, that's that Republican shit.
The only one that didn't piss me off was the first one.
He has the stance of someone of great arrogance, yet has the gentle touch of a compassionate person.
Yeah, because at least with that first one, I can imagine someone looking at someone like me, or someone like Bernie, or someone like Tulsi, like, dude, they're so arrogant. And then you're like, what are you talking about? They're just telling you the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's the thing. Arrogance, if someone that's arrogant, that's Trump. You know, I'm good, I'm great, I don't make mistakes.
Yeah. I get that. I'm saying when you look at someone who's talking straight truth, it comes off as arrogance. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear, because it sounds like they got their nose turned up and I know but you don't, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Right.
But see, here's the thing. Yeah, someone had a stance of someone. Now, first of all, why does the president got to be a dude? But in any case, but
Yeah.
a stance of someone of great arrogance. I don't want anyone with a stance of great arrogance. It's one thing to be arrogant. That's dickish enough. It's another to be, great arrogance. Not happening. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
Someone is arrogant can't admit when they're wrong. They can't.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Now you might sound like you're arrogant because you're speaking the truth to the best of your capability and knowledge, and you might come across as arrogant, but when someone knows you enough, they can tell that you're just speaking truth and you're not some narcissistic, arrogant jackweed.
Right.
Like Bernie Sanders. He's talking the truth, and to any Republican, he sounds like an arrogant buffoon, but that's because he's speaking against their need to be self-destructive.
Yeah.
And
what? Let's get off of the arrogance for a second, because
sure.
Because let's go with the one that you hated the most, that he aims to help the weak but also gives them bootstraps to help.
Yeah, fucking beat the shit out of that.
That pisses me the fuck off. It's like, oh, I'm here to help you. Get the fuck up by yourself, bitch.
Yep. I lend you a helping hand from 10 feet away. Like, get fucked. I lend you a helping hand from 10 feet away. No way, bruh. It's not happening. Not even close. I'm like, oh, really? When I get up, it's going to be some shit. You better be prepared to defend yourself and leave me of you. You know what? People that live in poverty, that mention bootstraps, that right there shows the level of their stupidity.
Yeah.
I can't stand seeing trailer park people who wish for better days, a better life, more money, but they are incapable of having the ability to do it because of where they live, and then let alone just simply who they are, and then what they might look like. And they talk about, well, people ought to raise themselves up by their bootstraps. Like, bitch, you do it. Then you talk about it. You're going to vote for somebody that likes you where you are, voting for them, while they use your money to help the wealthy. That's that bullshit.
Yeah. All right, you know what? I'm changing my opinion of the one that I hate the most. But it's to include the part that I hated the most and the part that's after it, because it's the strong fear him line, and then the he is a man of leadership line.
Yeah. Honestly,
because
I think we dislike every single one of them.
Oh no, yeah, we definitely dislike each one of them. It's just, there's degrees and reasons to it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hate the shit out of this poem.
Different degrees. I'm like, you know what? I don't hate it as much as the other one, but I do hate it.
Yeah. Because that one is, the strong hate him because he'll beat their ass, and then he's gonna go beat somebody else's ass, and the strong are like, oh, what a magnificent dude. Something like that.
Yep. Now,
right?
now, granted, let's say everything written here.
Let's think of it.
Now,
but then right after that, if that didn't make it clear, if that first one didn't make it clear, it's the one after that makes it clear. He is a man of leadership, both in the fields of combat and the rooms of board.
Meaning there must be fields of combat.
It's fucked up. It's like, so not only are you confirming that what you're talking about is violence, You're saying he has to be a master at violence.
And somebody that runs companies.
Shit.
A Wall Street asshole conducting war. Oh man. That at that moment, oligarchy hasn't only set in. No, that is the way of life at that moment.
Yeah.
That's when we're like, man, we don't want a president unless they have this amount of money at least.
Now,
I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and think that all of this was probably sarcastic. But at the same time, I know this person enough.
Thing with sarcasm.
Huh?
It doesn't translate in text.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be so blatantly obvious that it's sarcastic that there's no question. There's a question, therefore it's not sarcasm.
That's the issue, because I do know this person enough, and they have very dark, dry humor, and they have a view of the world. I mean,
Justin Fisher or Mr. Pony?
I'll just say Mr. Pony.
Okay. Continue. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure you know who you were talking about.
I don't know how I should go about this. But no, yeah. But Mr. Pony wrote this, and that's what I'm thinking. Or maybe somebody else wrote it. I don't know, but he posted it, and it's up here, and I'm reading it. So whether somebody else wrote it or he wrote it, he posted it. Therefore, he supports it. That's really all there's to it. And there's nothing at the bottom that says, I found this silly or ridiculous. So there's nothing to say that it is sarcasm. There's nothing to say it is a troll or a goof. So I have to say that Mr. Pony, if anything, supports this shit.
Yeah.
That's because if I wrote something like this at the bottom or the top, I'm like, look, this is some stupid shit, but listen to this. It's going to be something like that. You got to preface things.
Yeah. I mean, just we'll have to ask Mr. Pony whether he agrees with the poem or like what just his general thoughts, I guess. Because
he's online. He's right there online. You could put in a.
That is true.
Yeah, and at MRP and then yada yada and be like, hey man, get your ass in here or something, or I don't know. I'm messing with my dragon, so I'll be honest with you. I'm sort of in good mood. Honora.
You know what? I'm not sure whether I want to talk about that with him right now, just because there's other stuff we could talk about.
Oh, there's tons of stuff we could talk about.
Yeah.
There's tons of stuff. Take a picture of your cute little
and
face.
While I am interested in his opinion on the thing that he sent, it's interesting but not important. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or at least to me. That's where I stand on that.
I mean, I hear you, and I'm pretty much there too. Like, it's interesting, just not important.
Right.
Because I don't know how far it go. I really don't know how far it go.
Yeah.
So, all right. That aside, let's see what else. What else we got? Trump was pissed off.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say Trump was pissed off that his orange line was shown on a picture.
Oh man, my brother showed that to me, and then he's like, "Oh, they took it back and re-released it in black and white, thinking that would make it better."
I'm like, damn, black and white shows things up worse.
The black and white makes him look like he's doing blackface. It's so bad.
Oh, he can't get out of it. He can't get out of it.
So fucking bad.
Yeah, you're fucked, SA.
Oh man.
Trump is such a fucking idiot. I just own up. It's like, what are we supposed to think that your skin is naturally orange? Why would you even want orange skin? That's just disgustingly terrible.
Well, here's the thing. If he let the picture be out and he didn't give a shit about it, no one would even talk about it. They would talk about it for like a day at most, as sort of a haha, we didn't like you anyway kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it would be gone. But then he's like, oh, my feelings, stop.
Like,
and now it's a whole big thing.
Yep, he turned it into a thing. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Trying to get a picture of these mala beads. Because they're fucking beautiful.
Alright. So Iowa. What a giant fucking shit show that is.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I've had my thoughts about this whole caucus thing. And what has actually bugged me is the level of importance one state is over the others. I get it. This is the caucus, I believe, that starts the whole real primary, the true primary. It starts it.
Yeah.
I get that. But that's all it should be, the start. People put a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of time and effort into one goddamn state. So this means most of the people are tapped out. They're tapped out of the money. They done gave to the campaigns, they gave to the advertisements, they've done all this. People are going to be like, I'm not donating, because it happens every damn major election where the first two states that they go to, they are spoken of as the end-all be-all, and then after that, it's like, well, we couldn't get as much, revenue. We couldn't get that many donations. Well, no shit. You drained everybody for fucking 4 months for one caucus.
Yeah. On top of that, it's just a really shitty system.
Here's how it should be done. You vote, popular vote, fuck a delegate, fuck all that. Just who gets the most wins. Simple as that. And
delegates and the Electoral College are inherently undemocratic.
Extremely.
Because the second you say, Iowa is worth whatever amount of delegates, and California is worth whatever amount of delegates.
And that's bullshit.
It actually makes Iowa worth more per person than California. So what's really going on is basically in Iowa, your vote is worth 1.5 as many votes as California. I don't know if that's the actual amount. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
While California is like 0.5 in comparison to Iowa. So every person in California is worth half a vote. Obviously not literally, but this is the general situation of the Electoral College.
A very general blanketed per capita of it.
Right.
And then the superdelegates, no one person's vote should count more than one person's vote. And these delegates, their vote can count for 10,000. Superdelegates can count for 10,000. That is wrong.
It just plain is. On that note, the only official number we've seen as far as the votes is concerned has Bernie winning the Iowa caucus by more than 6,000 votes.
Yep.
Pete Buttigieg has one more delegate than Bernie Sanders.
And that don't make sense. How you going to have more delegate when you have lost the votes? And see, that one delegate can be like, oh, I count this. So
tied. If it was tied, that would be one thing. If it was tied and it says, oh, each of them got 13, I would be like, okay, the margin of victory over one over the other is slightly more. It's still fucked up that we're counting it this way instead of just raw vote numbers, but fine. Who cares about the difference between one and between a tie and plus one on top of that? Like, if it was 13-14 where Bernie had the 14 instead of 13-13, it would be kind of, I would be like, all right, he would deserve the extra because technically he won, because he's the one who got the more votes. Yeah. But fine.
Yeah.
No, that's not what the fuck happened here. Bernie got more votes than him, and for some reason, that means Pete has 14 national delegates for Iowa, and Bernie has 12. Fuck that. That is just straight, ridiculously corrupt nonsense.
And people going for it. And see, what happened was Pete Buttigieg, what he did was take advantage of what cost Al Gore the presidency. They took advantage of that. Because Al Gore, he won the popular vote. He won the delegates. He won the everything. He had everything, but since the news was like, hey, Bush won, we're calling it. Then everyone calls it, and it's like, well, Bush is the new president. Yeah. And Gore's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. You know, yeah. Pete won. Why did Pete win? Because they didn't want someone like Bernie Sanders to win.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it's corruption beyond compare, and this is supposedly the Democratic Party.
Yeah. They don't even have the lame-ass excuse the Republicans have, where they say, oh, we don't live in a democracy. This is a republic. Yeah. You do realize in a republic, you vote for your representatives.
The republic is the building
block
of a democracy.
If you vote for your representatives, you're in a motherfucking democracy.
Yep. The foundation of a democracy is the republic. That's the foundation. You build up, you get democracy, and you a democratic socialist or whichever you want. You know that's not even the end goal, but that's just better than what we got. But people are. Here's the thing: people have, and I know it turns people off, but they have Stockholm syndrome of capitalism.
Oh yeah.
That's why. Yeah. That's why. Like, no matter what you say that you want to try to change something, they'll say, "Then how would you make money?" It's like, okay, first of all, why do you need money? In general, why do you need money? And it's well, to pay your bills. What bills?
The premise is fucked up in a general sense.
I mean,
the only reason why I would fight back against the Stockholm syndrome thing, and this isn't even really fighting back. I would say there are some people who call themselves socialists who have Stockholm syndrome in a sense. Well, no, they can't. You can't even really call it Stockholm syndrome.
No, once you fight against it, you're not in it. When you can see what's happening, and you're not, when you are no longer supporting the marriage of your rapist, you are no longer in Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. What was I trying to say? Okay, hold on. Let me try to restate.
Okay.
There are some people who love socialism the same way that some capitalists love capitalism. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. That's all I was really trying to
Hold
say.
on, I'll be right back. I gotta turn the oven on. Be right back.
Alrighty.
All right. Hopefully that didn't take too long.
No, you're fine.
All right. So, socialism in general is just people have control over the workplace. The people do. But that's how it used to be. That's how it used. People forget this. People would start a business and they would look for employees. They would literally look for, the help wanted and whatnot. It would be everywhere. And they would literally say, we have to take care of the employees because if we don't, they'll go work for somebody else. And because somebody will work for someone else that's paying more, because, capitalism, then you got to pay them. That means you got to do good business practices. It used to be that way. But now with mergers, monopolies, and people have worked, these corporations have worked into everyone's mind that you have to work for money, that you have to work your ass off. You got to work, the working class, the working poor, the working, putting people to work, putting people back to work, keep people working, keeping jobs. They have ingrained that into everyone. Now, instead of people saying, you need to treat me right, they go to work saying, I got to do right so I don't get fired. That's the switch. That's the difference. And that's why we don't have socialism, because you talk bad about socialism, not you, but in general, people talking bad about socialism, so they say, oh, socialism is bad. And someone says, socialism is when you actually, like unions and stuff, and you get paid a living wage. That's socialism. When you get paid a living wage, you get, and they go up with inflation, they pay you more and more. That's socialism. And they're like, socialism is communism. No, what's communism? I don't know, but it is, and it's bad. You don't realize you're living in a communism right now. But hey.
Yeah. The way that I like to look at these things is you gotta look at it from the most simple-minded way you can, and then build upon that afterwards. So this is my oversimplification of the two systems of capitalism and socialism. Capitalism is fight for the resources, see who gets to the top. Socialism is evenly distribute the resources. That's the easiest oversimplification of the two systems.
It's so simple. It's almost an injustice. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't leave the explanation at that. I would just say that's the simplification that I start with, because it's not wrong. Yep. It's
like, why redistribution of wealth? Republicans love it when they get the money, but they always talk bad against it when it's the other way around.
Yep. So with those like that, you just have to say, okay, look, here's the dealio. If we have a shit ton of resources, more resources than we even know what to do with it. Like we have a waste management problem in the U.S. You know that, right? Like we have so much shit that it's not like it's screwing up other areas.
If
we have that much shit, if we have that much resources to burn because we use something and then we're like, we can't really use this anymore, so I guess we can just like leave it somewhere. It's not a big deal, whatever. That kind of thing.
Yep.
If we have that level of resources, there's no excuse to not distribute the resources evenly amongst your populace. Right? It's like in the opposite sense. If you have like almost no resources whatsoever, right?
You got to hoard something.
Then you really do have to hoard something. That's a situation where capitalism makes the most sense.
Yeah, you got to get what you can to survive. Here's the thing. I'm gonna use somebody. I'm going to use a YouTuber to help explain this. Freaking Frugal. Frugal Mommy, Frugal Daddy, the Frugal family. They go dumpster diving. And in the dumpsters, they find fresh fruits, meats that are fresh, bread. I mean, yeah, it's in the dumpster, but it's all in their packaging. They haven't expired, or even if the expiration date is there, it's not expired, it's not mold, it's nothing like that. It's just, if it's they say sell by this date, the date comes, and it's still got about 6 months before it expires. They find
that sounds, yeah.
They find breads, meats. I mean steaks. They find cantaloupes, watermelons. They find bags of rice, avocados, pumpkins. Things that are not tampered with. They're not tampered with at all. They find chairs, tables, gaming, board games and stuff. The dumpster divers exploit how wasteful this country is, and they talk about it too. So that's why I watch Frugal Mommy's videos, and you know what sucks? There's a lot of people that watch her, but they will not give her videos a like. I am usually always the first like on a video, and there's always like 2,000 to 3,000 people that have watched it, and I'm like, what is it? Too much truth for you? You see people diving in dumpsters, getting stuff that people throw away that there's nothing wrong with. I'm like, the garbage are the people naysaying what they're doing. The garbage are the people throwing out these good products instead of, hey, let's keep the shit on the shelf and not order anything new. And when the stuff actually begins to slightly go bad, get rid of it. Once you can see this is not right, get rid of it. This it's so much fucking waste in this country. Yeah. And yet we keep saying we don't have the money. We don't. You know what? Let's say you don't have the money. Let's say the United States don't have the money, because no one ever has money for shit. But we definitely got the items that the money would buy. We got plenty of that. We just don't have the money to buy it. So you got people out there dumpster diving to get it. And then you want to look down on the dumpster divers. No different than looking at people that get on food stamps. You want to look down to people on food stamps, but they can't afford shit.
Yeah. It's just fucked up in general. Like,
people have got to get out their asses. They got to get out of their own asses, because the shit is clogging their ears. And they can't hear the right information or any other information other than who to hate and why they hate them. They don't hear, wait, why are they hating them? Like, what's the real reason? Like, because they are what they are. It's like, wait, no, what's the real reason why we hate them? Like, for example, TYT. Here's a perfect example of that shit. TYT covered a story. This guy, Mexican father, he's like probably 40-some years old, and he's a architectural engineer. I think that's what Anna Kasperian said. Mm-hmm. He's talking about his son in school. Said his son's been getting bullied and whatnot. He's been being harassed and bullied and picked on. All right? That's in school.
All right.
No one should get beat up. No one should get harassed. No one should even be bothering somebody in school anyway. But what did some yahoo say in the audience? Well, why'd you leave Mexico then? One person in there was all like, I can respect you. Everyone else was like, what the fuck is this? I like this one woman, she said, you need to leave. I was like, yeah. But what did the dude do? The Mexican dude, that because his son's being tortured, and this white guy says, why'd you leave Mexico? So you know what he does? He holds the mic to him like, you got words? Speak. And this racist bastard is like, no, I'm not gonna talk. I'm like, you had enough courage to say that racist shit. Defend your point. Defend it. You're gonna say some like, honestly, and I'm not even gonna pull punches. Like Nick Infante. He say some stupid shit, but he can't back it up.
Yeah. Hey, I give credit to Nick on that. He at least tried to speak his mind, you know?
He tried,
Like,
but there's no rationality with it.
No, there was no rationality. But at least he had the courage to speak his mind.
Yeah, he just.
You can't even say that for that racist piece of shit.
You know what? You're right. Nick Infante at least had the damn balls to speak his damn mind. The problem is he doesn't have the courage to explain why he's that way, other than this is what my family taught me. I watched my family. There's no support in that. None. If I was to go on what my family taught me and stuff, I would hate anyone that's not black. Literally. That's what my family was. Everyone that's not black is hating you and they're a piece of shit. Don't give a fuck where they're from, why they're from there, what their color, creed, religion, none of that. If they ain't black, fuck them. They hate you. They hate everybody. They hate themselves. That's what my family was trying to teach. Fuck that, and mostly fuck them because of that. Because that shit ain't cool. And they don't think that that's what they were teaching, but they don't think when somebody is 7.5 years old and they're saying these things, when they don't think about that stuff when they're saying it when they're 10, 12, 15, 20, 22, 25. Hearing this shit, little sprinkles of it all the goddamn time at little events, major events, or just little small family get-togethers, or just small visits, and you hear these stupid little fucking lines. You hear this shit, you get the idea exactly what the fuck your family's about. And especially if they treat you a certain way, it was like, well, shit, if I'm supposed to hate everyone that's not black because I know they hate me, then what the fuck are y'all doing hating me? Because that's exactly where it was. Every black person I was around fucking couldn't stand me. So that killed any form of possible racism. That's what killed that. But sadly, though, Conqueror Thought, what bolstered what my family was saying was those people that was talking about treating me like shit when I just want to say hello and be a friend of some kind. So,
yeah.
Fuck, where do you go? Except I hate everybody and I can only like the individual. That's where that went.
Yeah.
So anyone out there listening to this, if you're a fucking piece of shit and you know you are, don't gaslight me or anybody else. Own up to your stupidity and then stop it. That's what you do. Admit that you got the problem and then fucking stop.
The thing with that is they are okay. In the case of that guy, that racist guy, he knows he has a problem, and he's choosing not to be better.
Yes,
because that is the objective of someone who actually wants to live in a society, continuously getting better than they were the previous day. It doesn't have to be by much. It could be by like a tiny, minuscule amount. But that is the objective of society in general. The very, very broad strokes on that, but the objective is to be slightly better than the day before. That's what progress is.
just getting a little bit better. If you're screwing up somewhere, you know what's going on. Think about it, analyze it. Street epistemology is a thing. That's why I watch Let's Chat. It's a thing and it works. And it's not just working on others. No, as I wrote in the comment section of one of these videos, this is great, but people need to understand SC is something that you can do to yourself. If you have some stupid ass thought and most likely it's stupid, ask, why did I think that? What did I get out of thinking that? And, is it even worthwhile to think that way? There's nothing wrong with questioning yourself. Yeah. And I grew up around people that didn't want to be questioned, period. I grew up around a bunch of goddamn Donald Trumps. I'm not fucking around with that either. I grew up around, like, this nurse is a nurse, and she's telling me, because I was telling her the dry eyes and stuff like that, and she said, don't put anything in your eye other than sterile eye drops. And I was like, and I said, I don't understand. I mean, if something gets in your eye, they always tell you to flush with warm water from the tap. You don't put nothing in there that's not a sterile eye drop or something like that. And I said, then, if that's the case, then shouldn't it be known? Shouldn't everyone know that the water's not healthy for your eyes then? And she looked at me kind of like, I mean, she literally gave me that look like, stop talking, you done got on my fucking nerves. It's a look that I've seen constantly growing up, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here like, fuck, you know, don't put anything in your eyes that's not sterile, but if you get some kind of, if you spray some kind of Lysol or something in your eyes, they burning, what you gonna do, run and get some Visine? I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just spray.
Here's conspiracy hat time. That lady was bought and paid for by Visine. She's just there as a marketing.
That's what. Yeah, she's a marketing plant. God damn, that shit is aggravating, man. I'm like, look, ask her the question, and there's no such thing as just a question. Like, just a question. No, all questions are loaded. That's why you want answers. All right, there's negative, there's positive and negative loaded questions. There's a positive question. Why did you do that? And you wait for a fucking answer. See how easy that is. But a loaded question, hey, why would you do that to hurt that guy for that? And it's like, whoa, you know, you put motive in the shit. What the fuck? You know, how often do you beat your wife? Well, did you steal that TV or did you buy it off of somebody that did steal it? It's like, well, fuck, could someone have given it to me? Nope. Fucking thief. So, it's stuff like that. Like, literally, like, here's stuff that'll damage you. Okay, and this happened in my adulthood. My dad wanted to talk to me about something, and it's kind of like, I'm glad you kind of got a life going. And he was like, I don't know if you've ever, you know, done drugs, and I don't want to know. And I'm sitting here like, fuck. I'm like, that just put in the air that you most likely have done some shit because it's you know, and I don't want to hear about it. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? It puts that in the air.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
hey, listen, I'm glad you're a good person and all. I just, you know, if you're not a good person, that's all right too. Like, just leave it at the compliment. Just leave it at the compliment. Walk away.
This shit is crazy. People don't think about what they, you know, people don't really think about what they say and what they mean, and then when they get called out on it, instead of being like, oh shit, you know, that's kind of bad. Like, you called me out on something. You told me that I framed it. I had a very bad framing. And truth be told, I didn't even know I framed it in any certain way. You know? So I'm sitting here like, I framed. So I had to go back and listen to it. And I was like, oh, I see what he's talking about. All right. So I'm like, okay, I need to work better at what I say and what I mean when I say it. You know, so I don't sound so accusatory of certain things. Unless I know exactly what I'm talking about. Then I'm going to be like, oh, that fucker did that. You know, but you know, it's stuff like that. You know, people need to just get off their goddamn high horse and get their fear of looking erroneous and just be real. You know, that if you can literally just be your honest self. You know, you want to be a goofball and laugh and twirl and jump and dance. If that's what you want to be and you're not harming anyone, do it. Because that is how you really hurt assholes. You want to be that rod that go right up somebody's ass and just fuck it up. Be a decent, open-minded person. That'll ruin everybody's shit. That's right now. That's my current belief going on observations. Well, I used to have observational truths. I don't know. There's a lot to go over, a lot that I could talk about, but I just rather kind of just be random. This is my birthday, and I just want to be random today instead of hyper focusing on something. Normally, I have written down.
Here's one little fun thing I could just throw in there, or just because. Biden called a random person in a crowd asking him a question a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Pony soldier?
Lying dog-faced pony soldier.
What the fuck is that?
I don't fucking know, but it's hilarious.
I know it's derogatory.
Well, yeah, of course.
Maybe I gotta find the record player he got that from and learn what it means.
I don't know, man. Hello?
I'm here. I just got quiet. I had a bunch of random insults about Joe Biden going through my head, and I figured if I say any of them it's gonna sound real bad. So.
Where does he? Okay, somebody said that. No, it was on the Ring of Fire that I listened about it rather, and apparently he got it from his brother, who said that he got it from an old John Wayne movie, and everybody who's watched John Wayne movies was like, that's nowhere to be seen. That doesn't exist.
So he's a goddamn liar. So he just made some shit up out of frustration, like I do. But yet he didn't want to say I made it up. He's like, I got it from this, and he got it from that.
Apparently, yeah. The best excuse that they came up with said that they might have gotten it from two different movies and just sort of combined them together. But still, it's real dumb.
It's real dumb.
Yeah.
I was on Godless Engineer's channel. He was doing He was doing the premiere, and he was debunking something, and I got frustrated, and I mentioned some things about the whole religious thing. And at the end, I was all in the tiffy and stuff. So I told him, I said, this dude sucked beetle nuts. And, and God was like, beetle nuts. And I was just like, I'll just say random shit like that when I get pissed. And he was like, yep, me too. But, which is why he's up there on my screen anyway as one of the random things, because he can acknowledge his audience. I like people that can acknowledge their audience. So that's why he's up there. So yeah, beetle nuts. It came to my head, and I called somebody when I was playing Final Fantasy, and I was on some kind of chat, and somebody got mad. I called him a donkey diver. I don't know what the fuck it is. I just called him that. So, I was like, I don't need to be in the fucking dungeon with some stupid ass donkey diving piece of shit. And he was just like, what? All his venom and troll left. And he was just like, what the fuck did you just call me? I said, you're a donkey diver, you fuck. And then I just left. So, yeah, I stuck with it. I was like, Cedric, that don't make any fucking sense. I doubled down on it. Fuck him, he's an idiot. It's like when somebody gets me that mad being a fucking asshole, that's when I might say some real stupid shit or something that makes sense. I would double and triple and quadruple down on it. I would make sure that you understand, fuck you, no matter how silly I might sound.
Yeah. All right, what else? There's one more thing I wanted to mention, but I can't remember what it was.
Is it something about Bloomberg?
Yeah, there we go. Fuck Bloomberg and his entire motherfucking existence.
Oh yeah, he's racist to the fucking core. That's why they like him.
All right, you know what? Let's just assume that Bloomberg wasn't a racist. that he actually wanted what was good for the country, and he had good ideas and whatnot.
And you wake up and realize opposite day is over.
Well, yes, but let's finish the thought. Let's finish the thought. If he was an average person with all those characteristics, I would have no problem with him. I would have no problem whatsoever. He is not an average person. He is the sixth most wealthy man. I'm not sure if it's in the U.S. or in the world, but he got money for days.
Yeah.
He has, for all intents and purposes, infinite cash. And why do I say he has infinite cash? Because the shit ton of money he's throwing into the election, he's making back just on the interest of his own wealth.
Yep.
He is literally net gaining wealth while throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at the election.
This dude bought his way onto the debate stage, and he only had 1% of votes. But he was able to buy his way on stage. Yet, Gabbard, Andrew Yang, and a couple of others, Cory Booker, and some others couldn't be on stage when they had more than 3% of the vote each. That is what you call exposing absolute, not just racism, but corruption in any party. I don't like Cory Booker. I wish Cory Booker would have failed out the day he started running his campaign. But this shit is fucking wrong. And he deserves to be on that debate stage. He deserves it. See, this is why I'm all upset. And I'm sitting here like,
another thing that disqualifies Mike Bloomberg, he has enough wealth to solve more problems than the president.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. He has enough wealth to solve more problems than the president.
Yep.
He can provide free solar wind power to the entire nation over a period of time. Granted, like he would have to start in one state and work his way out by himself. Now, some people who might be listening might be like, "Come on, Copper, you thought he only has $50 billion. There's no way that he can fund the entire nation to get to solar and wind power." And I tell you, no, he does have enough. He has enough money to go state by state, build up their solar and wind power all by himself with no help from anybody, and break even on his wealth just through interest. He by himself can solve world hunger. World hunger, not local hunger, not country hunger, world hunger. by himself.
Yeah, you know what else?
Resource-wise, he can do it by himself.
You know what would solve world hunger also? If all these stores would stop throwing out their shit.
Yeah.
That would stop a lot of hunger in this country by itself. You know, how about, you know, making sure the rats can't get to the rice in Africa and other places, since they eat up a whole ton of goddamn rice. It's just a bunch of shit. And you're right. He's got all this money to solve all these problems, but instead he'd rather run for president so he can get a return on his investment. He's running for president because he saw not Biden, but Sanders as a threat to his money. You got grown ass wealthy people crying on TV because I care. You don't give a shit. You care about your money. You don't care about nobody else but your money. Man.
Oh no! I might get text.
You should be like, stop crying like a bitch. You know.
Instead of 3 houses, I might have to have 2.
Oh, what could you do? You'll have only 2 homes. How could you possibly make it? It'd be so tough.
Oh.
They all sound like a goddamn Kardashian. Fucking.
People who are millionaires or above that are angry or scared or whatever about increases in taxes don't deserve to have millions of dollars, because they're rich enough to, if they felt like it, never work a day in their life again.
They never worked a day in their life in the beginning.
Well, I'm being charitable. Some millionaires actually got their money through work. I'm not.
Yeah, it's called slave labor. Somebody else's work.
Basically. But for all intents and purposes, we could. Well, okay. There are millionaire doctors, for example. I would say that they deserve the money that they got. Yeah.
I can bend. I can bend.
But I would say
I can bend a little. Okay, I'm not a complete jackwad. I can bend a little. Don't wanna, but I can bend a little. Cause I'll tell you right now, the way I would run things. Oh, you think the millionaire class and billionaire class hate Sanders? They would assassinate the shit out of me. They would assassinate, because I'm going to tell you what I would do. They would all get paid as much as their employees do. Anything else, anything over that, it'll take care of their insurances. It'll take care of, business expenditures. But anything past that crap, that goes right to the government. It ain't a tax, it's a take. It'll go to the government and be redistributed amongst the people of the United States. It will go into building infrastructure. It will go into making sure that we right the wrongs that we have made in other countries. I give them, they wouldn't even have enough to fucking function. They want to get paid more, they better pay the employees more. It's that simple.
Yeah.
That's how I would ruin their shit. I can't fucking stand them. I really can't. I remember when I was in my 20s, my early 20s, I was like, well, shit, if I had my own business, I would get just as much as I pay my employees. Why? Because we all are putting in on this. And I need them just as much as they need me. So if they need more money, then they get more money, but damn sure I'm going to get more money too. And anything else goes into whatever business it is to make sure it keeps functioning, product procurement and things like that. Insurances, wages, maybe extra staff, or building or something expansion or anything like that, or even starting something new. But I'm going to get paid just as much as them, because if I'm getting paid as much as them, then I understand where they're coming from and I can empathize even better.
Yeah. Oh,
I wish people could understand, because what I just described, what I would be doing, that's socialism.
yeah, that is an example of socialism. Yes.
Another example of socialism is, the fire department. The police department, that's a scam now. That's just, you just paying your taxes for people to come and kill you. That's all. They're just on and off duty hitmen.
That's a way to describe it.
I'm serious. And here's the thing: the police have already owned the poor and the minorities. It's just given. All right, that's all. The ownership is there. It's done. Now the police have moved to the middle class, and now they are getting a wake-up call. Oh, the police aren't protecting me. What is wrong? You stupid. That's what's wrong. Now the shit's coming to you. Now you got to deal with it. You get pulled over and you don't obey the cops' word by every single letter, you're going to get fucked up. You want to, because they want to teach your kids and say, the police are our friend. All right. When they bend you over, fuck you, gaslight you, and then all you got to do is just throw their badge out and say, hey, I turned this in, man. I quit. They can't be prosecuted then. And then they just wait 6 months and get hired somewhere else. Or a year and get hired back in the same precinct. You learn that shit, you're going to change your mind on how friendly the police is. Or are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I cover a whole lot of stuff today, but
I'm gonna head out now just so that I can study before class.
How are you doing in your classes? You doing all right? Good grades, whatnot? Scores?
Pretty good for the most part. What class I'm doing in one class I'm doing excellent, in the other class I'm doing all right. The class I'm doing all right is the one I have tonight. So
now see, I'm not gonna let this joke go. I'm not gonna let this joke go. So I gotta ask: Is your brother still scratching behind his ears with his left foot or his right foot?
He's a lefty now.
Okay. Has his ears grown extra fur? Is he howling at the moon?
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh
man. It's been good talking to you, man.
I was about to say the same thing. It's been good talking to you. I hope y'all enjoyed all this. This is just me having fun today and getting upset but getting happy. I haven't talked to Conquer Thought in so long, so it's been good to talk to you.
Alrighty then.
All right. Well, bye.